Sorry for the crazy animations. I don't want to turn these things off. You guys are going to get blasted. Every animation. There we go. Now it's over. And the wait. Oula. Just had to build up the anticipation, you know? I don't know. Hello, everyone. Let's test the chat. I've got this new app that manages all the chats, and sometimes I miss when people are chatting on Twitch or Kick or whatever. So, let's see, one moment. Well, I know that the Twitch chat is working. I saw you could see your brilliant move on the stats window of CC now. You can see your brilliant move on your stats window? What? What is this? Brilliant move on the stats? Just test the Kick chat. And it's all working. What brilliant moves? You talking about like a game analysis? I think the Twitter account was baiting, though. What? What are we talking about? The Twitter account? Okay, let me see. I don't have Twitter, though, so it's probably going to be like, do you want to sign up? It's not working. Listen. I'm going to put on some music first. First things first. Just hang out for a sec, put on some music. And I want to listen to this song. Shit, where is it? It's a New Order. Oh, God. New Order. I got tricked. Okay, so maybe what I can do is I'm gonna just play some Blitz games, I guess. Warm up. Maybe some people will stream in. And then I'll do the Patreon announcement and go over that. Really, it's just explaining. I'll just explain the Patreon tiers and all the advantages. Let's play some chess first. I'm not even going to go over the openings. I guess I'll just play some Sicilians when given the chance. Do not expect good results tonight. Like, I mean, more than the other nights, dear Lord. My blitz is already has taken such a hit. Sometimes people message me because I make so much material, I think, on like, you know, rating anxiety and losing points and all this stuff. So sometimes people message me like, oh, I lost 100 points. Or I lost like 100 ELO points. And I'm like, dude, I think I'm down like 250 ELO points with certain time controls. It's okay. I had the Scandinavian is still there. I had a lesson with my chess coach, and such a cheerful guy, like such a happy, cheerful guy. And we briefly talked about that, and he's like, yeah, okay, but you know, you lose some games, you win some games, you lose some games. It's normal. You can't have control of when you have good days, when you have bad days. And it's very simple, but it's very true. It's very true. We can only control certain factors. Anyways, enough ranting. I'll do some 3-minute, 2-second increment blitz and see what I remember from the Sicilian. The last stream, the last stream, I think we literally only got one D4. All of the other ones were E4, so I got to play the Sicilian a bunch. I can't, yeah, okay, so I can't even play like a Budapest, so I'll just play my awful whatever response this might be. Could play some Scandinavian though. Trust me, I would not mind playing some Scandinavian. I would not mind. And I am still working on the London system from Amon's course. It's really cool so far. I like it, but I need to work on it more. I don't know what the hell to do here. Can I just go rook here? My bishop is in prison. My bishop's like, dude, what's the plan here? Wesley, what is the plan? Please tell us, because... okay. So that is... maybe here, though we can't do that right away. Wait, can I go? No. No, I cannot. I could go here. Can't I? Can I not do that? Probably not a good move, but we're playing blitz, so... that's a bad idea. I don't even want to take this. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to take that bishop, actually. All right. Oh, we can throw in this move, though. Ooh. 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 All right, now let's... okay, this was maybe not the smartest decision. I'm a thinking. Let's see what happens. This probably is not good. I can't even come out with my queen. Here, maybe the knights will come in. Oh, dear lord, was that my bishop? No, it's a pawn. That's not good. This is getting really messy. Maybe I can just go back, actually. Maybe. Oh, right. That was stupid. Dude. You guys will have to excuse me tonight. Holy cow. This is just something. This is just something. Oof. My chess is so bad right now. At least my blitz chess. I do still... I'm just gonna take it. Sure. We'll just enjoy the music, guys. Just enjoy the music. Just enjoy the music. That's all that matters. Poor guy, man. This poor bishop. Oops. Whoops. Ah, wow. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, that hurt. That hurt. Having a hard time. All right, maybe I'll go back to my main repertoire here just to warm up. Maybe like when we get D4, I'll just play some of my main repertoire so this isn't as painful. But I will still play E4 in hopes of a Sicilian. What are you guys doing? Please tell me. What is everyone doing? What are you guys doing? This trap has not worked since the 1600s. I'm so sad. Okay, I'm not really sure, but I'll go C3 and I'll go back so the bishop can go here now. And if I do this, and if I do that, this is so passive. I'm going to go back with the bishop first. I don't really like that. Can I play this? Yes. Okay, thank you. Perfect. 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 Feel like my opponent's kind of giving me, oh wow, everything that I want and need. Everything I want and need. I get mated, but if I go here, he takes with the knight. That doesn't work. This move looks so ugly. But more importantly, I can't go there with my queen now. He's got to figure out what to do with this knight, though. So if he goes here, I can double up. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. And if nothing else, we can get an Alekine's gun. Ugh. I'm so bad. Valorant. What is that game again? What kind of game is it? I know of it, but I've never played it. Alright, what do I want to do now? I could just block. Then again, I have the... Then again, I could not block and just totally hold the D file. Not sure what you're planning on doing with your queen all alone. I'm actually... You can give me some checks. Yeah, I was trying to... I felt like I should have brought the queen back to guard from that. Oh, okay. Okay. Why am I doing this? Literally, maybe it's just a draw, but I'm like literally what? What is going on here? Why would you not take the D file? What the hell? Not even sure I like need to, let me think for a second. Do much. Yeah, this is strange. I probably should have given a check. Definitely did not play this well. He had this move. Yeah, I'm so bad. I'm so bad. Yeah, dude, I literally just let this guy like mate me. That was so dumb. Oy, 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 my chess. Maybe I'll play some bullet really quick. I cannot play decent chess right now unless it's maybe my openings or like maybe bullet chess. Oh my god. I just want to look at like, this was so terribly played. But it is just a draw. Yeah, okay, so it is just dead even basically. Oh, really? G5's the best move? But here I felt like, yeah, this was bad. Like I probably should have just let him, and then what do we do here? This huge issue too, where I'm just like not listening to my instincts. All of a sudden I like look at a game and I'm like, why did I just play all the moves that I should never play? Okay. I'm gonna play some. I'm gonna play some of my own repertoire here, guys. I gotta step into my comfort zone for a second, and then we'll get to the Patreon. What in God's name? Good Lord. What is this? What is this? I'm gonna wait and see if I can play a trap here. I want him to... I'll just... Maybe if I start with this, he won't notice. Ah. Never mind. Could also play g4 here, but kind of weird for my king. I think I'd rather castle and... Is this a blunder? Okay, you can go back. Probably. Okay. Let's go here and then c4. That's all right. We can drop back. I'll sink a knight on c5. Or not. Because maybe now I'll go here. It's got to be that's got to be the move. Let's just play fast, weird chess. This isn't actually, this isn't actually good though, because... Oh my god, dude. Guys, I'm so sorry. Fuck, dude. I don't know what's going on. I truly don't. I just literally got mated. Oh my god. Ooh. Okay, I'll switch to some bullet. I think I have a better chance just playing some bullet. I cannot play blitz right now. Play some bullet. No idea what I'm doing. Blundering pawns, left and right. There we go. Blundering pawns, blundering pawns. Blundering pawns. No thinking. No time to think. No time to think. No time to think. Am I getting mated? Probably. 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 Mm-hmm. Oh, we might flag them. We might flag them. Maybe we'll flag them. Maybe we'll flag them. Maybe we'll flag them. There we go. We can still do fast mind chess. That's right. We can still play some kind of chess. We can still play some kind of chess. That sucks. Oh, that was a blunder. Oops. That ain't gonna do it. That ain't gonna cut it. Oh, my God. My God. Okay, let's try. I'm gonna play like one more bullet game and then maybe play some blitz, but like actually try to think as opposed to what I have been doing. And then we're getting there. We're getting to the Patreon. We're getting the Patreon. Not that like there's a huge crowd or anything, but okie dokie. Mm-hmm. This is an ugly move. What am I doing? This filter isn't as crazy anymore since I changed my camera. I don't know if you guys can hear my cat like freaking out, but he is. Whoopsies. 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 Big whoops. Did that work, what I just did? Oh my god, dude, my cat is going insane right now. Insane. Oh my god, why did I do that with my queen? Oh. Brother, ugh. Brother, ooh. Okay, so like right here, I don't know if you guys, yeah, it says may change during game review. So it says you got a brilliant move. Someone got a brilliant move. Let's check, because it does this and then it disappears. It's like, that was brilliant, man. Actually, upon second thought, not so brilliant. Also, 47% accuracy. You guys can't see that, but all right. Apparently got a brilliant move. It must have been when I sacked the bishop for the discovered attack. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, guys. Enough screwing around. Let's get to the point. Let's get to the frickin' point. Okay, so I'm gonna lower the music a little bit here for you all and myself. The Patreon is launching. I am launching it tonight. Hold on. Hold that thought. Legit, my cat is going insane. He's just like, sometimes gets really crazy and excited. Anyways, Patreon is launching tonight. I haven't necessarily set every little single thing up, but it'll take just a minute. Hold on, I want to just put on some more new order. Let's go to the song radio. Sorry, guys, I'm putting the song back on. It'll change afterwards. Okay, so the Patreon. I am still setting up like YouTube memberships, but if I understand YouTube memberships, it's like pretty simple or pretty much the same as just subbing on like Twitch and Kick. But now you can sub on Twitch, sub on Kick, and then the Patreon. Obviously, like I actually plan on streaming much more and consistently, which I have not been. But so anyways, let's just start with tier 1. So we got 3 tiers of the Patreon. For the record, what I will say is that if you're like already stronger than I am as a chess player, some of this stuff is not going to be very interesting. And good Lord, my level of chess right now does not look very impressive, but I promise you guys, I'm just getting back into it. But like my over the board chess is still okay. So I think for the tiers, I plan on being really quite generous because at the moment I'm not actually doing a lot of coaching. I like coaching beginners and little kids and stuff like that. So I have some time and I plan on giving it pretty generously to anyone who signs up for the Patreon. Some people that message me ask about coaching. Not everyone follows through with that, but some people obviously, coaching can be expensive. Paying for chess lessons can be expensive, and it's debatable how like worth it is for you, because you can also just get chess books, do tons of puzzles. There's a lot of free resources. Anyways, I plan on being quite generous with these tiers. So this will be especially useful for anyone who's beginner, anyone who's even, let's say, intermediate. All right, let's dive into it. I might change these names, but I don't know. I had a moment. Tier 1, Zen Padawan. This will be $5 a month. What it's going to include, so let me just read it to you guys real quick. This tier grants you access to exclusive content to help you improve your chess, whatever level you're at. You will gain access to exclusive member-only content, recorded chess lessons, fundamentals, meditation for chess, and mental coaching tips. Tilt, anxiety before and after games or tournaments, anger, frustration, fear of losing, self-esteem issues. You will gain access to a member-only community with all of my students and monthly Q&A Zoom. So I would love to I'll plan on doing monthly Q&A Zooms with anyone from the Patreon. And this could be, us just sharing where we're stuck, giving tips, looking at each individual person's chess. It's still kind of open and flexible, but there will be monthly Q&A Zoom for anyone who has questions, wants to learn. Anyways, you can also vote on future content and streams. This tier gives you tools to take your chess to the next level without personalized one-on-one coaching programs. So concretely what that means is the monthly Q&A Zoom, exclusive video content. I am going to start making some exclusive content just for the members. I'm going to try to make it as useful to you guys because the thing with YouTube is you can spend a lot of time on what you think is a really useful or good video, and then it just does terribly. And then you make a video on something clickbaity, the difference between OTB players and online chess players, or chess addiction and online chess addiction. Some things just work really well. And then I'm I would rather spend time on more useful content. But so we'll have exclusive video content. I'll cover all sorts of topics, like what was helpful to me to get to the rating that I'm at now, what I'm currently doing to go above and beyond, and mental coaching, sort of mental tips, because a lot of people struggle with the mental aspect of chess. I have several students of mine that do not play chess or have to take serious breaks because they just get kind of burnt out or fed up with it, or just too much anxiety, too much chess tilt. They hate losing their rating. So these are pretty huge topics, and a lot of people struggle with them. And it's not so easy to, go into a chess match, whether it's online or over the board, and have, a good mindset where you feel like you can play your best chess. So, and then you'll have the member only Discord. So yeah, I'm going to start a member only Discord and future content voting. So I already kind of do this. I've literally made some videos for people that ask me like, hey, could you make a video about this? And I did, and happy to do that. This will just give you guys more access to doing that. If you want me to cover a certain topic, make a video, even streams, I will certainly do that. Okay. Tier 2 is Zen Knight. Zen Knight is tier 2. By the way, there's a 7-day free trial for all the tiers. Like, I have absolutely no interest in scamming people or giving people a product that is really not worth the money. I would hope that with just $5 a month or $10 a month, you're going to get a pretty good amount of content, lessons, educational stuff, where if you compare to a chess lesson, you know, hopefully it's good bang for your buck. But if it's not, there's a 7-day free trial. If you're not happy, then you won't pay. Okay. $10 a month, Zen Knight. This year includes everything from tier 1, which is member Discord, monthly Q&A, content voting, privileges, as well as up to 5 game analyses with personalized written feedback and study plans in your own Google Doc. I love Google Documents. I create a Google Doc for all of my students. I'm also I used to be an English teacher and I did that as well. And I think it's just useful to have your own document where we keep track of everything. So you will have those 5 game analyses that you can send to me, and I'm going to really go over them, try to identify your, weaknesses, strengths, what to work on, and then, kind of see if there's any patterns, and give you feedback. And then we can create a personalized study plan based on what you like to do, right? It doesn't need to be do this. I think that you should do this. It can be well, Wesley, I just like playing. I don't really like puzzles. Fine. That's fine. Okay. You will continue to work on anti-blunder habits, decision-making, and mental stability under pressure, not only to improve your chess, but your mental game. More specifically, what I mean by this is, my personal opinion is that most of us up until about 2000 ELO, most of our games are lost because of blunders and carelessness, not necessarily your chess skill. And so just working on the anti-blunder check, constantly scanning for checks, captures, attacks, building that habit of scanning the board, is very important. And then decision-making, that's another huge topic. How do you know which move to make? How do you choose candidate moves? How do you know which line or move is the best? And then just mental stability under pressure. I think that my expertise, because obviously I'm not the best chess player, but I think my whatever expertise or whatever knowledge that I can give that will be most helpful will be mental stability under pressure. I certainly crack like anyone else. I have bad days. I get tilted, all that stuff. But I also feel like I know how to go into a chess match, whether it's over the board, regardless of the person in front of me that's playing, and really just kind of hone in and be rock solid mentally. And a lot of that is just literally breathing, calming your nervous system, focusing, your attention on the moment and what you need to do now, instead of I'm going to lose. Oh, I'm losing rating points. He's better than me, etc. So mental pressure to not only improve your chess, but your mental game. Once again, chess is an extremely mental game. So it's nice working on both your chess and your mental game. Okay. So this means that you have, these should, hold on a sec. Let me just edit this real quick. So we have, the differences here. What's going to be exclusive is the personalized study plan. So that's the new feature in tier 2. And then the 5 game analyses. Not even sure if that's how you spell analyses. I don't know how to speak English. Okay. We'll go back. So yeah, the new features. What the hell? Okay, what? Oh my God. Sorry guys, that's gonna drive me crazy. Did it just not save? Save. Okay, we'll go back. Is it working now? Okay. So yeah, the two new features in tier 2 is especially, we're really going to start personalizing the content and the education and the lessons. I'm going to be looking at your games, giving you my feedback and a study plan with the Google document. Okay, Zen Master. Zen Master, tier 3. Same thing, 7-day free trial. Here, honestly, guys, this is like literally just cheaper than taking a chess lesson with me, and with loads of other perks. I'm really trying to be pretty generous with this stuff. Maybe down the road it might change if I start getting more and more people and I have to be wise with my time. But so $20 a month is the tier 3 Zen Master. What you'll get, I'll just read the description first. This is the premier membership that gives you access to tier 1 and tier 2 perks. You get everything in the other tier 1 and tier 2, as well as a monthly. I need to update this because I actually changed it to an hour. I'm being generous for right now. 1 hour. I don't even know. You guys should be able to see most of this. I'm not going to change my whole screen, but you should see the important stuff. Okay. So tier 1, tier 2, plus a monthly one-on-one 1 hour coaching session. Hello, Juice Me. Greetings. Juice Me, huh? Juice Me. Juice Me. All right. So a monthly 1 hour one-on-one coaching session with me. I'm pretty generous, guys. Like when I coach, I really just love teaching chess. I never count time. I'm never like, oh, the hour's up. Okay, see you next class. Like I love teaching. So you'll at least get the 1 hour one-on-one coaching session. And that includes chess, obviously, mental coaching if you need it, tournament preparation, and then 1 weekly progress check-in by message. So, you can send me like a novel and be like, Wesley, I'm struggling with this. A lot of like my members and viewers or students do this anyways. They'll check in and be like, dude, I'm struggling with this. And I just kind of give them that advice anyways and try to help them as best as I can. So this will be included. You can send me a message like, hey, let's check in. I'm struggling with this, or, can you look at this game? And I'm going to give you a pretty elaborate response to that. That's plus the coaching already. So to see how your training is going and make adjustments if necessary. So by this point, by the way, there we go. Bastian, I got to give you the mod permissions. I'm just going to take care of that really quick. AI viewers. It's not even bots now. It's AI viewers. Goodbye. Goodbye. Okay. So the point is that you'll already have a personalized Google document with your study plan, with everything that we cover in the coaching lesson, and then you'll have weekly check-ins by message where we can check in on how things are going. How is the study plan going? Do we need to make adjustments, et cetera, et cetera? And then finally, an exclusive 1 hour Inner Circle live session. So this will be exclusive to the tier 3 members, where I don't know how many people will even sign up for this, but let's say we have I have 5 people that have paid for this. This is like, you guys are my 5 heavy duty students. We're going to have 1 hour live sessions where we're going over your games, where you're stuck in chess, anything and everything that you find useful. We're going to cover that. And as well as the monthly Q&A Zoom. So you've got like literally every month, if you have the tier 3, you have monthly Q&A Zooms with everyone. You have the member only Discord, the coaching, the personalized document, blah, blah, blah. And then you'll also have this 1 hour Inner Circle live session Also, kind of the point here is to, what's up, Elon? I do recognize that. I do recognize that name, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. You're from Switzerland, right? How are you doing? How do we pay? It's a good question. I have to launch the Patreon first, and then I'll give a link to the Patreon page. So you'll just click on the link, and then, you'll click on the link, and then you can choose the tier that you want. And then I guess at that point, I'm not sure exactly how Patreon works, but you can probably pay with like credit card, PayPal. It'll all work through the Patreon website. So yes, you'll have all of that. And the other like thing I have in mind for this, guys, is not just the chess coaching. It's also just creating like a more tight-knit community. I would like to have, more of a community. I can play chess, right? Like we can all just play chess and do that alone in our own corner. I can do that. And sometimes I wonder if I should just do that and stop YouTube and streaming and everything, just fucking focus on chess. The point is to try to create like a community of people where, we have fun, we improve, we learn together. A lot of people that play online chess don't have a club. They don't play in person. They don't have many people. So this is kind of also aimed for that. I come to Paris to play Blitz tournaments. Which program do you use for online lessons? For online lessons, I just use Google. Right now, I just use Google Meet and then Google Documents. Sometimes I use Discord as well. Community helps to have a great environment to play together. Exactly. Yes, Juice Me. I saw you. Oh, am I recording? Yep. I am recording. The video? Yeah, the video. Well, if it's pre-recorded videos for the content, like, for example, member exclusive content, I'll record the video and then I suppose it goes on to YouTube. But either way, it'll be exclusive to members only. If you're talking about the lessons, the chess lessons are just on Google Meet over video, and then we have the Google document. Oh, a real lesson with someone. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Real lessons. If I have digital real lessons with people, I do it with Google Meet. If I have a real lesson in person, then I whip out my chessboard and we start playing. But my cat is like going crazy. What are you doing? Are you excited? He's excited. Come here. Come say hi. Look, this is Eugene. He's excited about the Patreon. Just tell them that you're excited. Tell them you're excited. Oh, yes. Oui. Oh, you're excited. You're crazy. You sent me an email. Did you get it? Well, if you sent it to the right email address, I'm sure I did. Oh, maybe not. I did get an email, but not from you, I don't think. Let me see if there's spam. If it went in like spam or something. But I don't think it would. I don't think I got your email. Did you send it to zenmindchess@gmail.com? Because I ain't seeing it. Anyways, how do I go back to my... It said Giga Chess Nerd. Wait, what? All updates. Hold on. I'm so confused with what the hell is going on here. Go to my main inbox. Primary. Yeah. I emailed you back. This is Sean, right? I emailed you back. You ghosted me My friend, you ghosted me. He said he didn't like me. Yeah, Google Meet. I mean, I've used different video services in like my 9-to-5 jobs, like Zoom. I've used Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams. I like Google Meet because you don't have to download an app. First of all, there's no time limit. It's linked up with Google, so I use it with Google Documents and stuff. So yeah, let me just reiterate, if I speak English anymore. All of these options are a good either alternative if you were wanting to ever take chess lessons, or supplement, because if anyone's really, wanting to improve rapidly, then of course I coach chess. I coach up into a certain level, but you can take lessons and take advantage of these. Once again, I've had students, I've had viewers and whatnot that might not have the budget for something like regular chess lessons. And I also have to make, a living somehow. So I understand that chess lessons are not. Ellen, thank you for the follow. Thank you. You guys like the dancing cat? That actually kind of looks like my cat. So yeah, this is an affordable way. This is a more affordable way. And then of course I am going to start trying to stream more. And so if you want to sub on Twitch, sub on Kick, I do think I can set it up. You can sub for free, right? With Amazon Prime. If you're subbing on Twitch, you can just sub for free and it supports my channel. So that's cool. But that'll be I'll talk about that another time. All right. You emailed me back. I will read it. I got it. Good. We can talk more about that. I'll email you back. And, well, I don't know. Does anyone have questions? And is YouTube fucking dead? YouTube is literally dead to me. The link for what? You have 180 euros credit at Blitz Society? You have credits at Blitz Society? Well, that's nice of you. I need to go to Blitz Society. I haven't been yet. And that actually is one of the things that kind of stopped me, was man, it just sounds really expensive. It's the same amount of money, it almost seems like, than just playing in an official rapid tournament at a cafe in Paris. But it does seem really cool. Oh, cool. Oh, a calendar. Let's just chat about it. My schedule is pretty open. I guess I can send you, I don't have Calendly or anything, but we can just pick a time. And what's your, oh, right. Okay. You were telling me your rating's already really quite high. You want to do it now, eh? Well, you want to do a chess lesson right now? Yeah, Ilan, let me know, and I can join at Blitz Society. I'm gonna start playing the rapid games. Today, I was setting up the Patreon and stuff, but I had my lesson with my chess coach, and it was okay, I need to start playing some more long time control, consistent rapid chess. Because actually, that is when my own rating started going way, way higher, is when I was playing consistently, 1 or 2 games per day, and really trying to study a bit more. So I am going to get back into rapid games. 1900 to 2000, up to you. Maybe you need some time to prep. No, not necessarily. I mean, a first lesson, we're also just kind of looking at your games and seeing what you're struggling with. Probably one of the more helpful things, keep in mind, officially, I have not hit 2000 on chess.com on rapid. I was right below it. So officially I haven't hit 2000 on chess.com, but on a good day, I think yes, I can, definitely can. Yes, do send me a message. I appreciate it. Pterodactyl defense. So I'll tell you right now, Sean, I'm not an opening expert, obviously. And I also don't think that the openings are at our level are the most important thing. And a lot of what I teach in my lessons is what my first chess coach taught me that helped enormously. And ever since he taught me, it started making a difference in my chess. And I noticed it in how other people play, and sometimes them kind of neglecting basically just the fundamentals. Like, a lot of people do not develop their pieces quickly. A lot of people are moving their piece, the same knight and piece around all the time. They're making unnecessary pawn moves, stuff like that. So I don't focus too much on openings, especially if I don't know the opening very well. What I do mostly is like, okay, let's look at your opening. And if it's theory, great. If it's theory, it's theory. But looking at, are you playing the opening and then still like respecting the fundamentals, right? Of, we can just literally go over that as well. But if you want to do a lesson right now, fuck it. We can do a lesson right now. All right, let's do that. Here's what we'll do. Shit, I'm trying to think here. I'm not sure if I can get you on video. I don't even know if you'd want that. I can like pull up the guest video on stream. I have to set up OBS for that, but I can get you on audio so everyone hears you, and then we can just pop into like LeeChess or chess.com. Okay. Are you on the Discord channel? We can either do, for this, it's kind of exceptional. Usually I would do Google Meet, like I said, but if we're doing this on stream, it might be easier to do it on Discord. So, which, yeah, if any of you guys are watching and haven't joined the Discord, do it. The links are in the, okay, perfect. The links for Discord are in everywhere, on Twitch, on YouTube, everywhere. I'm going to start trying to revive this. Okay, let me just think. So OBS needs to use my mic. No, this works. Let's just see. Hello. Hi, Sean. Sean, right? Nice to meet you. If you don't mind, I'm just going to include the audio. People will not understand if they do not hear you. Okay. You guys should be able to hear him as well. Can you say something? We'll test.
Test.
If anyone else is in the chat, tell us if you hear Sean or don't hear. I'm sure it's fine though. Turn that up. Okay. So what we'll do, if it's okay, I'll just like walk you through everything I would usually do in a chess lesson, including.
Yeah, sounds good.
Starting.
Yeah, I figure. I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit. See what you're like. Before we sign up, you said you give like free stuff at the start, and we can work on top of that. So just kind of want to see, what you're like. How you can help, or I could So
Yes, sir. Definitely. Here's what I'll do. You guys can probably see this on stream. I'm going to start a Google document and put in some content. And then if you want, you'll always have access to that, especially if you want to keep taking lessons. It'll be good. Okay.
Yes, I told you what openings I play, just to kind of give you like I guess kind of like a feel for my style, you know. White I like to play is like the Queen's Gambit into the Catalan, so you know, Catalan's a pretty solid opening where you can kind of like take it at your pace. Most E4 is like more solid, and E4 is tactical and stuff. So
yeah.
so I try to go for more solid, more concrete play as white. And then black, I play the modern defense, pterodactyl version. It's basically like doing the Fiend Shadow Bishop and then striking with C5. To try to, it's basically like a mix between the Sicilian and the modern. So, it's kind of like it's pretty aggressive.
Okay.
But it can turn into like a Benoni a lot.
Okay.
That kind of stuff.
Okay. Great. Let's start with, so I put a couple things in the Google document to start. I guess, let's see here. I'm going to do this off screen so we're not sharing your personal information. One sec here. Or I can just, if you're watching the stream, like you can just see the Google document on this.
I got your stream up. I got your stream muted.
Can you see the Google document then?
Yes, I can.
Okay, let's just do that for now, and then I can always add your email and send it to you later. Why does this look all weird? Do you play mostly on chess.com or Elite Chess?
All chess.com, yeah.
Okay, what is your account? We can start with that.
_me. And yeah, I've been doing a little bit of blitz today. If you want to take a look at those games, we can look at some losses, some wins,
What do you mostly play for time control?
So I did Rapid a long time ago. I got up to 1917, and I feel like I kind of got there a little bit based on luck, so I just didn't really push it too hard, and I figure, I was gonna do a bunch of studying and shit before I actually made that 2000 push. But then I switched to Blitz because, I'm like, I think my Blitz elo was at like 1,000 or something before I started that. So, I was just like, Blitz elo doesn't really matter too much, just send it, So I got up to 1900-ish on Blitz right now.
Okay.
Either I get the people that are fucking computer geniuses or chess geniuses, and you're using the computer or some shit, and they find all the best moves and blow me off the board instantly, or or it's a pretty good fight. Like it's a mixed bag. So
okay. Okay, so what I tend to do is, first of all, and do you play any over the board chess, or is it exclusively online?
Online, yeah. It's over the board. There's nothing around me at all.
Okay, where are you from?
From Maryland area, but everything's like probably like an hour or two drive.
Okay, gotcha.
It's a big haul to kind of go out and do any tournament or anything like that.
Okay, just curious. Okay, so first of all, just to give you some context, I generally put more emphasis on over the board chess if the person is playing over the board chess. If you're not, that's totally fine. But there is something I would say that's important to understand with that, which is that, and this is kind of just my opinion, but I think a lot of people might agree, it can tend to be the most serious, because the difference between a lot of over-the-board players when they're playing in tournaments and, longer time controls, they're really giving it their all. They're really trying their best to calculate to the end of the lines. They're really pushing, their limits in terms of mental, like, fortitude, calculation, everything. And the tendency on online chess for all of us, I think, not everyone, but the tendency on online chess is that we kind of try less, a little bit less without even knowing it. And because part of it is because you don't have the time. A 10-minute rapid game, even, that is really not a lot of time. But of course, compared to Blitz, it's a lot of time. So what I'm saying is that, like, the information that I've gleaned from other players way stronger than myself, most consistently, they'll tell me, like, you should play over the board classic chess. If you're really serious about progressing, you should be playing at least like 15-minute games. That's not for everyone, but welcome, James. Hello, welcome into the chat. But you can take that approach to your online chess. And for the record, that is what has made me, like, I'm not saying skyrocket my rating, but my chess has gotten much, much better, much quicker when I started playing over the board and taking the online chess, like, not as seriously and just trying to play as I would, like, in an over the board game, which is, if my opponent plays a bad move, I'm going to notice it. I'm going to try to look at it and notice it. And so, like, the difference is when you're playing an over the board 1 hour, 45-minute game, right? Often it turns to 5 hours or 6 hours. You cannot make bad moves. If you play a bad move thinking you'll get away with it because maybe your opponent doesn't have time, etc., it just doesn't work. And so the result is that if you take that approach to your online chess, at least with your rapid, I promise you will already notice a huge difference, because just quite simply, the way that people play in rapid, and a lot of the times on chess.com or just online, is terrible. But when I say terrible, I mean terrible compared to what they are capable of playing. Yes, it's because sometimes part of it is because we don't have time. You can't spend super, super, super long. But that's not the point. People, even if I literally watch people that I play against with 5 minutes on their clock, and they take 2 seconds and get mated in like one move. That is inexcusable. At our level, you cannot play like that. Or not if you want to, like, get better, right? Yeah. You can't blunder a queen. You can't blunder a piece, or you'll get eaten alive by most of the 2000s. So where I'm leading to is that just overall, in general, sort of a philosophical or like mental framework coming at this is that I try to teach to really take a step back, whatever time control you're playing, take a step back, forget about the rating, forget about winning, forget about losing, focus on just playing the best chess that you can possible. And if you're playing Blitz, obviously you're going to be playing with intuition. It's going to be intuitive. You can't take super long to think. But with rapid, you can take the time to think, and you can try to push your limits. And so that's the first thing. I'm not saying Blitz is bad or Bullet is bad. They're not. Like, Bullet is extremely useful to be a good Bullet player or a good Blitz player. Extremely useful, even in over the board, like long format games, because you can do well under time pressure. Okay. That being said, do you have any questions about any of...
Yeah, no, I'm just listening. Yeah, just chilling.
Okay. So let's start with... let me start with, like, the fundamentals, all right? Just really quick introduction, and then we'll take a look at some of your games.
Bet.
Do you mind if I'm just periodically looking at chat, responding to chat really quick? I'm happy to go longer if we need to. I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna let you talk for a little bit too. Yeah, I was gonna mention too, like, even if I play, like, I've been playing a ton of Blitz lately, like 5-minute games. If I play, like, even like a rapid game now, like a 10-minute game, it feels like I have so much time. Like,
Okay.
I'll kind of still blitz out like the opening,
Okay.
and I'll just realize, like, holy crap, like, I still got like another 7, 8 minutes on my clock, like, and where
Okay, so that's
comparatively in, Blitz, you'd have like another 2 minutes maybe.
okay. That's
So,
good. That's a very good piece of information, and we're going to come back to that because I'm going to hopefully try to show you how that is good, but it could be stopping you. Like it could be actually shooting you in the foot. Okay, so just reading really quick. I give 100% to online rapid and OTB. I just get nervous and don't play to my best. Yeah, that happens too. And time pressure being a thing in classical, yeah, actually, I've been in like time control situations in a classical game where we're down to seconds or minutes, and the person in front of me cracks because for one reason or another. And I've also seen players, where they just play like stone cold, super well under time pressure. Those are probably players that have played their fair share of online bullet. So it definitely, for me at least, is helpful. Okay. Jumping to the fundamentals, and I'm just going to note this down because I do want to go. I don't want to forget what you said. We're going to take a look at a puzzle.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever done a classical game. I've never done one 3-hour game. This is not in me. Yeah, I did do a lot of rapid. I can even do like 30-minute chess.
Mhm.
I did that to kind of like, get some elo.
Mhm.
Most people online, they don't want to play 30-minute chess.
Yeah, no. 10-minute
if
is
you
where it's
actually
at.
put the time into it, think for 30 minutes, they're just gonna resign and leave.
Yep. Literally. Or they get upset and they send you messages and stuff. It's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, even though you're already at a very good level, which by the way, your online rating does transfer to over the board. Like it's a bit weird. I don't know how much you've played just like with an actual chessboard and the 3D aspect. It takes a little bit of getting used to like get to your same level as you are online. But your level does transfer. Like that's what's good. Your ability to calculate and all of that. Okay. Before we get into I'm not really going to go too much into openings at all, even. And before we get into your chess and your games, here is the basic layout. You're already at a really good level, right? Like it's already a really good level. You're beyond learning how the pieces move, and you probably know most all the tactics. But basically, most players, once again, at our level, all the way up till about our level, and maybe even higher, right? They lose games because of a blunder or a mistake. At least that's my experience. The rapid games that I play, almost always, including myself, almost always, the game is immediately lost or won based on a blunder or even a mistake or too many little mistakes. And so that eventually, I don't think is the case. Eventually, we get to a point where no one's really making big mistakes, but it's just who sees the plan better and who executes, who has better positional play or whatever. So the fundamentals.
100%.
Yeah. So the fundamentals, I teach this to my beginner students, especially because their brains are just like a big white canvas. The most important thing throughout all of anything I would teach is the anti-blunder check. This is what I learned from my coach. It really helped me. And he was a national master, so he's a pretty good player. Anti-blunder check is to constantly be scanning for checks, captures, attacks in that order, of course, because checks are forcing. This has huge impacts on tactics. If you don't check the checks first, very often you'll either miss a tactic or you will blunder something because you forgot that it's a check and it's forcing and you have to move. Or for example, in fact, there was a game I just played, a really terrible blitz game, but where there would have been a tactic, like an intermediate move, right? You can throw in a check and win a pawn instead of just doing that other thing that, it's like, oh no, I have to take back this piece they just took. Well, hold on. Do I have to do that? Or can I pick up this pawn with check and then take the piece back? And those little differences literally end up winning you the game at our level. So checks, captures, attacks. We have to constantly be scanning. for checks in that order. And then captures, are you hanging a piece, attacks. That is something that needs to be like in the background constantly when you play. If you make this like sort of just a background process, almost like on a computer, like an antivirus or something that's just constantly running, your level of chess will already improve if you're not already doing it. And it might be even better. Like you literally might skyrocket in rating because all of a sudden you're not blundering nearly as much. Any questions on that part?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
That's what I call the holy grail.
The checks, captures, attacks thing. Yeah, it's like I've heard that one too.
Yeah, and it's like none of this is new. That's the thing. None of this is new. It might sound, people might be like, oh yeah, I know that. It's like yeah, but you know that. We all know that. But are you doing it? And that's the big difference. Is a lot of players, especially online, aren't actually doing it. And if you do, it makes a huge difference. Okay. That's the most important thing, period. I guarantee you, if we look at a lot of your games, your opponents are often blundering. Maybe you take advantage of it. Maybe you don't. You might be blundering and losing. You might just be blundering or like losing a pawn, right? My goal, if I were like helping you and teaching you, would be like, no more blundering anything. It's okay to make certain mistakes, but if we look at your games, I want to see that like, basically we're not giving any careless mistakes. We're not giving any free pawns, let alone pieces. Okay, next.
Yeah.
These are...
Yeah, I don't know about that. I got tons of shit in there.
At least something to aspire to, right? Like I had my lesson with my coach and I showed him a terrible rapid game I played and he's like, yeah, I blundered. And he's like, yeah, that's in a nice way, right? But like, we can't do that. You can't do that anymore. It points out like before we go into learning and practicing all these other things, first we need to eliminate the blunders. Okay. So that being said, that's like number one most important thing. And then the fundamentals. These take you all the way beyond 2000. Guarantee you loads of players 2000, 2100, 2200, or even maybe higher on chess.com are still breaking these fundamentals. And so these are something like, it's a frame, it's a structure that you can follow regardless of the opening, regardless of anything. So quick development. This is pretty obvious, right? Like you need to develop your pieces quickly, because whoever, develops their pieces faster and better is going to be the one attacking. And then all of a sudden, boom, you're getting checkmated because you didn't develop your pieces or whatever. Quick development. Second one, maximum activity. This one I feel like is not talked about as much, and it's kind of vague. People talk about like, the scope of the bishop and the rook being, rooks being on open files, the bishops being on open diagonals, outposts for the knights. But the reason that is important is because of maximum activity. If you don't have your pieces on good squares, then you might have 2 pieces or 3 pieces more than your opponent, and you could still be losing because you have terrible activity. And the computers take all of these into consideration. So actually, that's a funny way to put this. The fundamentals are extremely important because this basically all of these, the computers use as some kind of criteria. Is this person developing? Have they developed their pieces? Then they have the advantage, or they don't. Do they have good activity with their pieces? Oftentimes you sack a piece for better activity. And then, so then third point, control the center. Control the center, pretty obvious. I feel like that's one of the first things everyone learns is to control the center. And this is kind of like, the fourth point is kind of not as important, but still pretty important, especially when you do not know what to do. Develop the least active piece. There's all sorts of puzzles. There's like these positional puzzles on chess.com from what's his name? I think it was Jeremy Silman. Anyways, sometimes the puzzle will be like, here's the position. What should you do? And a lot of the times it's like develop the piece that's just doing nothing. There's no crazy tactic. There's no fireworks happening, but you just have this terrible knight or this terrible bishop, and maybe it's just moving it back to a better square. So yeah, those are the fundamentals that we try to put into place any and every game that we play. If you're not developing your pieces, that's a huge problem. If you're not putting your pieces on good squares, that's a problem. If you're not controlling the center, that's a problem. And sometimes it's literally all of these. Some people like don't respect any of these. Sometimes they win, but you know, if you play against any kind of master or anyone really quite strong, you're going to get immediately like steamrolled if you're not putting these in place. Okay.
100%.
Let's jump into your games and we'll try to like, I don't even know what time we started, by the way, but let's look at your games and we'll try to kind of look at them through the lens of these fundamentals and everything. And then also just, so when was the last Rapid game that you played? Have you played, you've played some
Rapid,
recently.
it's been a long time.
Because the thing is, Blitz games are fine. We can look at the Blitz games, but it's not necessarily showing me the true like representation of your skill and your level with Blitz games, but we can do that. Let's do maybe a game.
Yeah, I would say, probably the Blitz game's a little bit more recent. I think when I did Rapid, I was playing E4 a lot and playing the Vienna.
Okay.
I switched it to like a Queen's Gambit Catalan kind of style.
Okay.
A lot of the Catalan ideas are a little vague and like
the Catalan's hard from what I hear, at least. It's got a lot of theory. I've talked to a lot of people who started learning the Catalan and it wasn't necessarily easy.
Yeah, because you got to be prepared for the Queen's Gambit theory.
Yeah.
You know, like Queen's Gambit accepted, etc. And then once you get into the Catalan, you have to, you know, learn how to play against different stuff like the Slav and like the triangle defense. Like pretty much everybody plays the triangle defense. Like like everybody knows that the Slav is pretty much like the caro kann at 2000, and you know people are very comfortable with the caro kanns.
Yeah, but once again, what I would say, and I'm not the only one who says this. There's a what's his name, Grandmaster Noel Struder. Like I don't know if you know the Alessia, the Italian streamer, her boyfriend, husband, I don't know, but he's a Swiss Grandmaster. He started a YouTube channel. He's got really cool content, really instructive. And like one of the videos that I watched was basically like openings do not matter until a certain level. Really, openings are not as important as people make them think. Obviously, it's up for debate. A lot of people just really like openings. Like I love openings and learning openings. But at our level, I would still maintain that the games are not won, typically are not won or decided by the openings. They're still probably won or lost based on positional play, tactics, blunders, etc. Okay, I have a Blitz game. I have like the most recent Blitz game. Do you want to start with that and we can work our way down?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing I do miss about low elos is, you know, a lot of the low elo stuff you could win out of the opening. High elo, there's like you're not gonna win until like move 30 or so, like finding like a, you know, crazy advantage, right?
Yeah, you
like,
don't get those opening traps.
Crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing I think is useful. A lot of over the board players do this. Like my coach does this. I should do this more. Analyzing your games, not using the game review like right away, because the computer is just feeding you the answers and it's Stockfish's answers, which like it's very useful and it's good to definitely look at the computer, but you don't want it to get in the way of you understanding the best move, the wrong move, and why. So yeah, it's useful to go through your games also and just analyze them just yourself first, and then maybe compare to the computer, etc. Okay. So let's take a look at this. Got a Catalan. Oola. Is this theory with the 4 pawns? I don't play the Catalan, so I do not know.
I've actually never seen anybody do that. That's why I tried to. I think this game I sacked a knight.
Okay.
Because he was doing some weird stuff here.
Okay.
I remember this game, but yeah, there's a time he goes for G5, I think it is, and I sacked the knight because this
Okay.
yeah, you could just like go through it a little bit.
Because yeah, I mean, we can check this with the computer afterwards. I do not play the Catalan. I do not know, a lot of the theory, but just based off of my intuition, I would guess that somewhere here, this is not a good, this is not right. I don't know. Yeah. We don't know exactly just yet how to like punish that, but I would guess this is maybe not the end of the world, but like, pretty passive and not really developing the pieces. But let's just see how this continues. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Right. I see. I see what's going on here. This is where you sack the knight. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to take as much space as possible, and yeah, I was like, there's no way, So I sacked the knight, knew about the queen check there, had that calculated, was thinking bishop takes.
Yeah, at least you got 2 pawns for the knight. I'm guessing the computer will say that the sack doesn't work. It's also a blitz game, so we can sack more.
Yeah, couldn't really find the follow up, so it kind of like it wasn't too. Yeah, you'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bishop here. Yeah, I mean it's somewhat forcing there. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is kind of strange, for example. So one thing I talk about, not necessarily on the first chess lesson, and it depends on the level of the student, but I like giving a lesson on reactive chess. This is particularly rampant in online chess games, especially Blitz. Very, very, very often, we will play reactive chess and just kind of do exactly what our opponent wants us to do. And it's something that like works out a lot of the time. But if you look at, higher and higher level play, like by masters, grandmasters, and so on, you won't see it. They will constantly be either counterattacking or, so this is an example. It's like you play E5, I'm assuming saying, hey, your king is like in danger. Yes, you have a bit more material, but I'm going to open the center. I don't know if taking's the best decision, but I would highly doubt it. So to me, black just kind of was like, yep, okay. Like you offered me the pawn, I'll just take the pawn. I don't know why exactly. Because
the free pawn.
This, I mean, I don't know. He like, there's not even, you're controlling D5, so he's not even jumping a knight in or something to kind of clog everything. And that's something you can punish. I mean, it's like, what? You're just gonna let me massacre your king down the D file? Okay. Takes with the queen. Check. Blocks with the knight. Oh, there's got to be tactics here. Wow. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Wondering if...
Yeah, here I kind of lost the thread a little bit. Didn't really know, like, because the queen was in there, and I didn't really want to get rid of the attack. But yeah, I was kind of surprised. Like, I couldn't really convert this too well. His king's like right in the middle of the board. He's finding like the right moves.
I'll be interested. We can look at this. I'll be interested to see afterwards what the computer might say. Did you? Okay, so here you have 3.5 minutes. Right off the bat, in my mind, I'm calculating 2 things. I'm calculating bishop takes. Now, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But like, I'd be calculating bishop takes, and then yeah, like rook e1 looks pretty good. One might be more forcing than the other, which again, going back to checks, captures, attacks. Forcing checks are important, to do first because it's forcing. And very often, the forcing lines, if you have a forced win, you should take that instead of trying to complicate things, blah, blah, blah. If you see something that's forcing, usually it's better to do that, especially if you don't have a lot of time. So yeah, anyways, I don't know. Cause like here, maybe he takes, maybe he goes back there like the same. I don't know if probably rucksack would not work. But yeah, something to...
If I sack the rook, probably cover up with bishop and...
Cover up with a bishop and then...
Bishop's like...
Yeah.
Chilling.
But let's see. Okay, so rook here. All right. So I don't know. Yeah, probably we could have avoided this. Like, you are down material. So trading queens, like, if we just take this position, right? What do you think black wants?
Yeah, black definitely wants to trade down because I'm down material, which I was so surprised he equalized like so nicely. Like, it was just kind of strange. So he wants to trade down for sure. He's up material. He just wants to trade down so he can win the end game. And you obviously, since you're you're down material, and the king is pretty weak and in the center here. Like, at all costs, if you can avoid the queen trade, do it. It might be, you might have to just throw in the towel, but I'm guessing we probably could have avoided this queen trade. The second you take the queen here, it's pretty much, it's not completely over. I guess you're picking up this pawn, or maybe even this way, but you're kind of just, that's kind of over here at this point, if your opponent plays it really well. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was a moment where we could have avoided this. So we'll take a look at that afterwards. But okay, here we trade down, takes, yeah. It's like, it's really hard because now the king is just pretty safe and a little bit of pressure. Nice. Oh, wow. Okay. Yep. Okay. Let me think here for a second. I wonder, here, there. Rook over. Okay. Moving that rook over there, I definitely think would have been a lot better.
Not entirely.
The king in and...
Yeah, and you're threatening to... Anyways, okay. But here, I don't know if you saw this or not, but you're technically up a pawn. Your pawns are doubled, but you are kind of restricting, the pawns on that side pretty well. Yeah. So...
Yeah, I think my goal from here was to make a king jail. Make like a line he couldn't cross with the pawns, and then then push up on the right side.
At this point, if I were you, I don't know if this crossed your mind either. I would also think, well, look, your king's closer to these pawns. If you just can push and sack the pawn and then go over here, you're gonna win that probably pretty easy. Which it looks like that's what's happening. Hold on, is this not? I'm not so sure about that move, though, because let's see. I guess he is in opposition. Huh. Okay, yeah, now it's... I feel like here... I mean, yeah, we'll take a look at this and compare it to the computer, but this is my thinking process. I would think if we push, it's some... I don't know, might be losing, but... obviously if he takes and he has to go over and eat that pawn, you go over here and you win pretty easily. Whereas here, the only thing is if ever we mess up and he gets in and eats this one, then we could be in trouble. You're probably winning that race, but anyways, that's endgame stuff. Okay. So going back to the beginning of this game, my overall impression is like you played pretty well, there's definitely moments where it could have been a little bit more precise. You sacked a piece, but it wasn't necessarily a blunder. You didn't just blunder something like, by a mistake. And then from this point, it was basically fighting for, I'm going to try to checkmate your king, and you're going to try to, trade material and win the end game. And so you tried to do that. And I think that one big thing was trading queens probably didn't do you a favor. That's something that we can look at. And then, the end game looked pretty decent. All right, we'll compare it with Stockfish and see what we're right about. Also, the opening, I think that your opponent I highly doubt this is theory. Just pushing all the pawns and in a very passive. It's frustrating, but not necessarily good. So, the computer says here, you're up almost 3 points. 3 points, right?
3 is wild, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a really good example of people get away with this in online chess, and it can be frustrating because it seems sometimes like people can, just do whatever they want and still kind of win. But when you start to look closer and closer, probably if you were to play this at your same level in an over the board game, even if it were 15 minutes, it's going to hurt. It's not going to go very well. Because people will really try to be like, whoa, hold on, this cannot be good. So there must be a way to punish it. And we know it's not. The computer is saying this is not a good way to play. So that's why, I think sacking the knight's probably not the way to go. But even then, you sack the knight and the computer is still saying you're winning. So it's not like the end of the world, but maybe not necessary. I would think right off the bat,
mistake on your screen. It said brilliant on my side. They try to get me to pay for chess.com, I swear.
Yeah, it would not surprise me. And it could be I'm not saying it's a terrible move. The computer Stockfish for me is saying it's a mistake, but it's not the computer says you're still winning. So, but yeah, also an option is just continuing to develop a little bit. Let's just take a look at what are the best moves here? Wait, what? Okay, E5. Oh, it's for black. Okay, here he pushes. Bishop takes G5. So actually, you weren't all that wrong with the sack idea, but I wanted you to sack the bishop. Otherwise, there's knight takes, bishop takes. Okay, interesting. Why is it saying it's a mistake though? What the hell? Chess.com. Anyways, okay, so we get here. Now you're definitely better. But I'm guessing the advantage will immediately evaporate after the queens are traded. So here, queen h4. Yeah, I would guess queen h4 might be a little bit better because we're trying not to trade too much material if we're hunting down the king. But I don't think it's the end of the world. Queen f7, queen h6. Oops, sorry, queen h6. Okay. So we get here. All right, now black is slightly better. Right here. Like I said, you're saying this is a great move. I think it's not the hardest move to find in the position. Great move by you. You're saying, hey, your king's in trouble. I want to open up the file and checkmate you. And this is a moment, all right? This is a moment where going back to the anti-blunder check, and your opponent is literally giving you the win on a silver platter. Converting that is another matter, but they're literally, I have no idea why they would play this. Look at this. This looks crazy. This looks so scary. And they kind of just gave that to you. That's something that more and more I feel so in my personal journey, towards 2000 when I was playing a lot of rapid chess, noticing those little mistakes or sometimes big mistakes actually was what really got me higher and higher. All of a sudden I was seeing how people, whether it was my rating level or even higher, were playing terrible moves like this, myself included sometimes, but terrible moves. And the more you spot those and you're whoa, wait a second. They just let me open up the D file and hunt their king. What's going on here? Now, how can we punish this? Just recognizing when your opponent makes a mistake is super important, in my opinion. That's all I'm trying to say here. they're basically giving you back the advantage. But now we have to convert it.
I could have taken the one pawn with the bishop. Like that pawn was hanging, but yeah, I wanted to break that open. Yeah, get that king.
Yeah, I would.
Right in the middle.
I think that's why d takes e5 is best, because it's like, get that file open. That's where your advantage is. Okay, so he takes that back with a queen, rook check. Everything here looks okay. It does like rook fd1. That's the best move. Or queen f3. Okay, what? And then it's second best move, and then the computer says it's a mistake. But okay, so you play the best move, the only good move. Queen f6. Queen takes. Okay, yeah, so you could have gotten. So it looks like the computer's okay trading queens, but we could have taken a pawn here at the very least, and then keep pressure on. Oh, hold on. What does this want? Rook takes e6. Really? Maybe it wants to pick up the other pawn. Okay. Yeah, so at your level, you know, most of the games I don't think will be determined by a huge blunder, but many of them will still be like determined by blunders. And then probably by little tiny mistakes where you, if you're doing like the anti-blunder check, are hopefully making fewer and fewer of those mistakes. And I swear you'll see like, oh my God, I played a game that was like 95% accuracy. A lot of the times it will just be because you stopped making mistakes. And if you notice when your opponents make them and then really go into your reasoning, right? I'm not just saying, look for the best move. Your opponent made a blunder. Now just find the best move. No, because that doesn't help at all. Your opponent made a mistake based off of what you know about chess, about this position, you know, really take a step back and think. That's what a lot of people do not do, especially in, you know, online chess. And it will make a huge difference for you. If you're like, whoa, hold on. My opponent made a mistake here. Let's try to find how I punish this if you have the time. And so here, for example, first huge mistake he gave you, an opportunity to come back. Here, yeah, I guess queen f6, we could have just picked up another pawn. So why not? And then at least you have you're down one pawn, but your position is so much better. Like you have this pressure, the pinned knight. If I had the choice between black or white, 100 times out of 100, I'm picking white. You have the pressure, and you can easily probably get a pawn back and maybe even a piece. So yeah, I want to show you one thing really quick.
Yeah.
Before I forget, this is something I wanted to show you. Let's see here. One sec. For this, you might need to just look at the stream. Because I'm going into Lee Chess. Where is it? I think it's on mine. Is it this one? No. This one? Okay, no. Dang it. I might not have it. Let me see if I can find this puzzle. No. Yes, I think it might be this one. Dang it. I can almost remember the position from my head, but it was, my coach went over this with me and it was really useful. I have one of the puzzles, but not the other one. Hold on, give me 1 second. I think he sent it to me.
Sure.
This will kind of illustrate like the difference between, you know, playing pretty decent chess, playing kind of quickly, and really trying to like play the absolute best chess that you can. Let me set it to me over on this. Okay, he sent it to me on WhatsApp. Might take me too long to find this puzzle. But whatever, we can always do that another time. Yeah. We could take a look at this one really quick, though. Okay.
It's okay. Yeah, no, I kind of like sprung it on you, you know? I was like,
No, yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Okay. This is not the exact example that I would have wanted to show. The other puzzle that I had, it's basically the same thing, but it's like the importance is calculating to the very, very end. And again, this is something that we don't really work a whole lot in online chess. We can to some degree, but you really have to consciously do it. And my point, the reason I'm saying this is because, in my opinion, like, yeah, look, you can get to 2000, you can get to 2100 and even 2200 probably. Although I think 2200, you're kind of pushing it with just playing fast enough and playing good enough. At a certain point,
yeah,
I think
going
at our
against the
level,
sweaty nerds.
yeah, and also you're going to start playing against, you're playing against people probably that are now like regular over the board tournament players. They're studying everything, and so taking your calculations to the very end, not just being lazy, not just, this is something that absolutely is going to make the difference in your level right now as like 1900 something to 2000, 2100, 2200. This is something that I also am working on and need to work on. And I know to take my chess to the next level. And it's better to work this way in terms of like, we're blitz rating or OTB. Are we talking about blitz rating? I'm talking about both, I guess. I think I was talking about online, not OTB rating. It's better to work this way, I think, which is slower time controls. Take the time, try to calculate as best as you can, develop your capacity to calculate, and then have that kind of work down into your blitz, into your rapid chess, etc. Oftentimes what I find is when I'm playing my best chess, and I'm playing probably a lot of classic chess, but also some online, what I'll notice is I'll jump back into a rapid game. And that's actually how my rating like started going up. I was winning a lot of games in rapid because I was just playing so much over the board. And then I would jump into a rapid game and I'd be like, oh my God, these guys are playing terribly. I don't want to mean to be mean, but it's like, what the hell? These moves are crazy. And it led to easier wins. And that's only because, you're kind of going to the next level in terms of the plateau. If you just keep playing the same moves, just keep playing, calculating the same, it's not going to change. Nothing will change. But if you start really forcing yourself and challenging yourself, it definitely will change. So let's take this puzzle as an example. Again, not the exact example that I wanted, but it's still really good. What do you notice in this position? Obviously, it's for white to play.
So white to play.
Let's actually switch to my...
Like, what do I notice? So there's open lanes for the rooks. Bishops in the middle. So there'd be like a revealed attack on the bishop with the knight move for black. That's a check too if they trade the bishops. Knight's probably about like one jump away from hitting the queen for the black queen on some lines.
Yeah. Okay, hold on one second. I'm going to switch the view here to my lead chess. This looks really ugly.
Not really doing a ton. But it could definitely hit that one rook in the back.
Sorry, hold on one sec. I'm trying to switch. What in God's name? Switch the scene so we can all see this better. Dude. Oh, here we go. Okay. There we go. Just gonna add your Discord. Okay.
Yeah, one thing with the Catalan and everything and the modern defense too, they're both fee and Cato openings. So a lot of times I don't really have to worry about back rank me.
Right.
Pretty much like ever, because I make the escape square on move like 2.
Yeah.
But This one, yeah, we do have an escape square for the king, so the things to hit the wall with the rooks, pretty chill.
So this puzzle, for example, I can tell you first of all, is certainly not a puzzle. Probably not a puzzle that you would see like on chess.com, like find mate in 2. This is
definitely no, like immediate wins though. I can
yeah.
definitely tell that.
This comes from. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely more positional and whatnot.
Yeah. So this comes from like this was the training. This was one of my coaches, apparently something that he was studying for, like becoming, master, an international master. This is like not very easy. So first of all, don't be surprised if like the solution isn't very easy. But what's nice is that this is maybe going to help us show the difference between how like you might be thinking and calculating, even myself to some extent, and what it needs to do to get to the next level. If you really, really want to progress, trust me, I think getting to 2000 will be like a walk in the park if you're, really starting to grasp this kind of stuff and calculating like this. So let's look at the position again. And I want you to just give me a couple of the candidate moves that immediately jump to your mind, like just intuitively.
So there's a few moves that I like. I like what is it? Knight F4. Jumping the knight up, hitting the weak pawn in the middle. I kind of like that, but then you get forked. Pretty much like the next turn. It'd be nice if like the queen wasn't there and you kind of win some time with it, but it's not really too great. But the other one was what was it? Bishop B6, attacking the rook. Probably the fastest way to apply more pressure. I was thinking rook trade, but probably not the right idea. So you're probably just attacking with the bishop up there. Another candidate move, probably E5, breaking in the middle, but I don't think it's a good move because it just gets us pinned and so
okay.
But yeah, probably bishop to B6.
Okay.
Probably the most solid, just to get more time on the rook.
Okay, so obviously if this were like an actual game, and you had the time to do this, you need some time to be able to calculate all this. If you see like knight f4, you're going to want to just look at this and not rule it out just because of e5, because a lot of the times the winning moves will still be there regardless of, you play knight f4, for example, they play e5. Oh no, I'm forked. And then you freak out. Very often, well, not very often, but sometimes there's an intermediate move or there's some other winning move, but you're not going to see it unless you really try to calculate it to the end. And if you don't have a lot of time, then okay, maybe you just look and see, okay, knight f4, I want to target the pawn on e6 that's weak. The queen is defending it, but I see that he can play e5. I'm getting forked. Maybe go a step further, see if there's any response that you have. If you don't see any clear response, all right, then maybe for like especially a rapid game, maybe you can rule that move out for now and look at the other move. So the other move was bishop b6, and you said to kind of apply more pressure on black's position, right? What?
Yeah, about the follow up to the fork. Yeah, I was looking. Now that you mentioned it, sacking the bishop for it, maybe they take back. We could sack the queen for the 2 rooks. Might be just a little bit too complicated if you further down that line.
Yeah. Takes. Yeah, I mean, basically, we do get. Let me think here. Yeah. So like definitely worth looking at that. But we're also obviously looking for the winning move, and it looks like, there at best, what we've done is just gotten forked, sacked a bishop, and then traded a queen for 2 rooks, probably not. Probably we're going to be worse. Like, we've just lost material there, and the king is pretty safe on like f7. So, okay, you said knight f4. For now, we've kind of ruled that it doesn't seem to be the right course of action because of e5. So now bishop e6. Look at this move a little bit. Maybe try looking into some of the variations. Like, of course, especially at your level, you have to be calculating for your opponent and trying to find the best moves, which surprisingly still a lot of people don't do. We play hope chess, and we just think like, oh, I'll go here, and then he'll play what I want him to play. So, you know, try your best, see what Black's best move is, and then just go a little bit further in the calculation.
Yeah, I was thinking, if he, I put the bishop there, maybe best for him probably be to move the rook to e8.
So bishop b6.
Get off the diagonal.
Yeah, rook e8.
I also looked at, what was it, rook takes c1. Bringing the rook down, because if, you know, I don't take back, and, you know, I just blindly take the rook at the
Like
top
here.
up there. He could take my other rook with check, and it's actually winning my queen too, which wouldn't be too great. But I would obviously just take back the rook if he did decide to play that. Because that would give my queen fork, because his queen's hit my other rook.
Okay, so yeah, so bishop e6, he could either play rook e8, bishop e6. He could also throw in rook c1, rook takes c1. What then?
So if he did take rook c1, yeah, I take back with the rook.
Okay, take back the rook, and then
yeah, because it's about that queen fork. Don't want to get forked there. But yeah, I would take back with the rook.
How does the position look to you at the both, just after those 2-3 lines, like bishop here, rook e8, and then any follow-ups?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, because he so yeah, if he does e8, I'd probably start working on advancing the other pieces. I guess at that point, you know, he doesn't have the pin on the bishop, so maybe pushing e5 afterwards.
Okay.
Something like that. Probably not the right move, but yeah, just something along those lines. Definitely wouldn't trade the rooks, because, you know, I have the lane, the IO.
Right. Yeah, probably. Unless there's some good reason we don't want to trade the rooks and necessarily and give up the file. Let's take a step back for a second and go back to what was the very first thing that you saw in this position. What did you want to take advantage of?
Or attack? Right. The knight. Yeah, the knight f4.
Right. The only reason it didn't work is because we're getting, we're getting forked. So we can at least agree there is this weakness on e6. There's a lot of stuff, there's stuff happening in this position, but the first thing that we probably notice is the doubled pawn and this weakness on e6. And I'll just give you that to maybe as a hint to help guide you. So the weakness was on e6. Let's just say that you're correct. We're not, you could even look at, and I had just looked at, it's worth it, right? Maybe rook b1, or is there some way to trap the queen? I'll tell you right now, it's not that. You're not trapping the queen, so it's not that. It is something to do with e6. But it's a matter of how do we get to that? It's not so easy with knight f4. You have to kind of go to the end of the line. So bishop e6. For right now, let's eliminate rook takes, let's just look at rook over here, because here, rook takes, actually that one works too, but bishop e6, rook e8, and then what?
Yeah, probably. Hmm. Yeah, the probably knight f4 is probably a little bit too premature. Um, because
Right,
the
because
queen is
they're
still
knight
guarded.
f4, knight f4. Technically, the queen is still guarding that.
Yeah. Um. So maybe, yeah, maybe rook b1.
Okay, so not
Slide the rook over to hit the queen.
here, rook
Uh,
b1.
to try to deflect it off the pawn.
Ah,
And
okay, and then
if
go for
if the queen goes to c4 to try to hang on to it, then we have the other rook over.
queen goes to
Um,
c4. Hmm.
yeah, just to try to hang on to the pawn. And then probably going for like a knight f4 afterwards. Once the queen's not hanging on to the pawn anymore.
Okay, let's go back and just look at like the overall piece activity, the activity of our pieces. Um, would you say that we have like pretty good activity? They're all the pieces are more or less active.
Uh, Not really. Yeah, I mean, like I think they have some potential, but yeah, they're pretty cramped up right now.
A little bit cramped up, yeah. And if you had to say what's the worst piece?
Um, say the almost the queen, really. Queen and that knight. I think probably two candidates for being the worst. They're all
Mhm.
pretty boxed in, but yeah, I like my queen more active because queen's pretty strong piece. Um,
Mhm.
I wish yeah, it was definitely more active, like maybe in like the back line or something. And but yeah, the knight's pretty miserable too.
Okay, so yeah, the knight's pretty miserable. This is just to kind of go back to the principles that if we don't know what to do, very often the guiding um, logic that can lead us to the right move will come from the fundamentals, which is in this case we don't know. We know that e6 is weak and that we want to attack that, but we're not finding the solution right away. And so you can also take a step back and be like, okay, hold on. The rook is for sure happy on the open C file. This rook, it's a rook. It can slide over. Maybe, who knows, maybe the D file opens up. I don't know. But the bishop is pretty freaking happy. That's for sure. But the knight is like not super happy. He'd be way happier going to F4, way happier if you were to get to like E6 or, So maybe something about the knight. You're really close to finding the answer, but try to look at what we can do with the knight and what the original target was. You're right about the target. The target is e6. That initial intuition is right. We can't do knight f4 right away, but we want to target e6, and there is a way to target e6, and something that can just say, I'm giving you loads of hints just to, I won't always do this, but something with the knight where we can also improve our position, improve the knight, improve the activity of our pieces.
Oh, so maybe a bishop hits the rook, the knight jumps to what square is that? D4? D4?
Right. Exactly. Knight d4. And then what do you see? What do you see about that move?
Yeah, that definitely deflects the queen off of the pawn.
Yep.
Yeah, we can definitely take the pawn.
Even if they throw in, for example, rook takes c1, we just take back. We're happy to do that because now we own the d file. And the queen has no more squares. The queen now has no more squares to guard e6. So a couple things are happening here. We've increased the activity of one of our pieces. We're going to win e6 by force. So even better is that all of this is basically forcing. By playing bishop e6, basically black has to move that rook. Anything else he loses material. So he's got to move the rook, or he can throw in rook takes c1, but so that's forcing. He has to do something. Okay, he moves over. Next we have knight d4, forcing. We're attacking the queen. The queen has no good intermediate moves. We could calculate that obviously, but we don't need to right now. Like, there's no crazy sacrifices or intermediate moves or checks. He's got to move that queen. And in that case, it just so happens that he's got to move off that diagonal. Then we take on e6, and basically the position now is just going to play itself. Your white is winning for sure after that, but you still have to follow up. It's not like you just won the queen or anything.
Wait.
This is not the puzzle that I wanted to show you. I'll try to find the other one. The other one really kind of shows you like, oh, what happens when you don't go to the very end of the calculation? What happens when you disregard a certain variation because you're like, no, it doesn't work, I get forked, or no. And this one, it's kind of like following your intuition. You start with your intuition, find some candidate moves, but then go to the very end and see how can I make this happen? That's a lot of the times how the tactics will work out. Like, this is a weakness. How can I make it happen? And if you're really resourceful, but also you're really calculating to the end as best you can, you'll start seeing tactics everywhere. And not just tactics, but like, you'll also just find the best moves, positional moves, that you wouldn't find otherwise. It's not the easiest move to find, like bishop b6, rook over, but it's definitely not the hardest, right? Like knight d4 kind of just plays itself. Bishop here, rook there. Yes, we can play knight f4, but if we just take a little bit longer, we see, oh, knight d4 literally removes all the squares from the queen, and then we win the pawn by force. And by the way, it's also just a good move because we're increasing the activity of our knight. So sometimes it kind of goes both ways. Sometimes just by trying to follow the fundamentals, increase your activity of your pieces, which means you have to have developed them in the first place. Just by increasing the activity, the tactics find themselves. Like, you will not have good tactics if you don't have your pieces developed, if you don't have good activity. So sometimes you work that way and you're like, well, I don't know, I want my knight to like jump forwards into the position, but this bishop's kind of blocking me. Maybe I can throw this move in, which is forcing, and I gain a tempo, by the way. We're gaining a tempo. And then I jump my knight in the center. So you see what I mean? Like, that could also be a way that you find the winning move. Yeah. And it's much harder to do that if your thought process is not like structured. If your thought process is just like, oh, just, I don't know, find the best move, attack this, attack that, whatever. If instead it's like the fundamentals, piece activity, development, etc., matched with good calculation, it's deadly. It really is deadly because you'll be able to take the time and calculate the candidate moves, choose which one's the best one. And then basically, if you have the time, you'll just get to a point where like you're going to win. Like, you are going to win most of your games, especially if your opponents are not calculating and thinking like this. If they flag you, whatever, like, but do you really want to get to 2000 and 2200 by flagging people and just playing faster? Because personally, that's not what I would want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's definitely felt like, when I was hitting around like the 1900 level, maybe some of my games I was winning more like one luck, or, the opponent just made like some crazy move, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of like put the pause on it, I was like, I definitely want to work on, basically like, chess skill, until, ready to take that, the step over that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So
do like a little bit more opening prep, things like that.
Yeah. Personally, like with my lessons, I'm just not even competent. I'm not a grandmaster. I far from that. I don't know tons of openings, and it's just not the most useful thing to learn. Even like none of the lessons that I've taken with chess coaches, have they spent like maybe one or two classes they spent going over openings. You definitely can do that, but most, and I've had like 3 or 4 different coaches, like literally every single one was like, one of them was like, attack. You need to attack. And he had this whole brilliant course about how important it is to attack and why. And then the other coaches, like the fundamentals, the principles, so I generally am just like, look, study openings as much as you want. Definitely it's worth it. Get the theory down so that you're at least comfortable. You're going into these games knowing that you can play faster and that you're making the best moves is definitely worth it. I just tend to put more emphasis on the overall play because that's going to be what really helps you out more, like I feel like
I learned this one line from a WIM once. It was with like the 2 knights and it had like, a queen sack in it where, you basically hang the queens so you could, do the bishop knight checkmate or whatever, like off the rip. And yeah, it was a really cool line. But I don't play E4 anymore,
and
I'm more of
probably,
like a D4.
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm more of like a D4 player now,
Okay.
so I don't really get much time to actually use that line, but and some of the people actually do have to play into it like a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a pretty cool line. But yeah, it's a good point about the opening prep. It's like over time, you'll play different openings, so there's spending too much time or too much going into the variations of one,
Mm-hmm.
might not be the best.
Yeah. I mean, at best, you'll definitely win some games if you're really well booked up. You'll feel more confident in the positions. You'll have an advantage more often than not. Like on my good days, I felt like I would almost always come out with an advantage and play the opening better. But that is really not, enough. I've so many of like higher rated opponents that I faced. I would play the opening way better, but then they just like complicated the position, and either I found a way to capitalize, and convert and win, or I didn't. And still most of the times, no matter how well my opening was, it was won or lost because of blunders or mistakes. So yeah, that is pretty much everything, especially for a first class. The anti-blunder check, the fundamentals. We didn't really go too much into like your style of play. I mean, we just looked at that one game of yours, and like creating a study plan, but well, you can only do so much in one lesson.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate your time. Yeah, you definitely done a lot for like basically like a free thing, free course. So free lesson. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, let me know if you have any questions. You have my email, so let me know if you have any questions, or in the Discord. And well, yeah, I need to launch the Patreon. So
Yep, sounds good, man. Yeah,
all right,
I'll
Sean.
be in chat. Yeah, appreciate talking to you. Yeah, thanks for looking at the games and
Yeah,
everything.
my pleasure. All right, man.
Yeah, see you.
I'll see you around. All right. It's really funny. I actually don't know how to leave Discord chat channels. So, okay, I'm just gonna, okay, folks. Well, that was a chess lesson. I guess you guys get a sample of a bottom left. You guys get a sample lesson. I don't even know how to bottom left somewhere. I figured. Switch accounts. Yeah, that's fine. My pleasure. So yeah, you guys get a little sample lesson. I am launching the Patreon, so it'll be live. If you guys have questions, put them in the Discord. And I will see you guys all soon. I'm going to stop the stream. I'm a tired boy. But I'll be back. And all right, everyone have a good night.